Hey everyone, it's Katherine Skaggs, and I'm here to do a Q&A with Inner Haven, with Christina, and with Ginger, and everyone who's joining us. So I hope you can see me. Can y'all see me, Ginger? I'm live on my page, hopefully.
We're getting there. Can we see her live, please? Kathy?
It's a debut of my new hairdo. I cut off all my hair in a Hindu shamanic ceremony. Well, kind of. I was at my hairdresser. So we'll just kind of talk right now until y'all join me. I don't see anybody just yet. Well, there's 3 viewers, I guess, who are here. Say hi in the comments if you want. So as we wait for everybody to get on, I'll tell you one of the Hindu shamanic practices that I did many, many years ago in a trip to the Himalayas, to an ashram up in high in the Himalayas, Babaji's ashram. And one of the things I did at that time was something called Mundan, which is one of their shamanic practices. Hey, Lisa. And one of their shamanic practices is to literally, in ceremony with everyone around you singing Om Namah Shivaya, a head shaver shaves your head all the way down to the bottom and your hair falls onto a banana leaf. And you go into a trance. I went into a trance. And then you go, somebody walks you into the Ganges River to let that flow down the river to release your past. So as we enter 2024, I welcome you to this discussion on shamanism and shamanic studies that I offer. Now, I like starting with the new story. I thought today was perfect. I just got back from my hairdresser. I did not shave my head, obviously, but I cut off a lot of hair. And on Friday, I'm going to go into a fire ceremony with my students. Hello, everyone. And we are going to do a new moon ceremony, and I am going to release the hair that I did have into the fire, to let go of my karma and my past, to be present time for the new year and new beginnings. So how does that sound? Not everybody does those kind of things, but I thought, now I know it's time to let go of the old and to start anew. We've got new things going. So, hello, everyone. I hope that a lot of people can join this and that this can be shared. And I've got Ginger on the phone here from Inner Haven in Grays Lake, Illinois, to see if we can facilitate any questions. I can see comments coming through, but we were hoping to be both on the screen, but for some reason we haven't quite figured that out. So hopefully y'all are finding me here on my page. So Ginger, do you have any questions or shall I launch?
Because I can't comment. Everybody else can comment, but I can't comment for some silly reason.
Oh, how weird. Hi, Patricia. Hi, everybody. Can Christina comment?
Yes, Christina's sending you the names of the different people who are online right now.
Great. Hi, everyone.
So that you know.
Okay. All right. If you have a question, I will just give you an overview. How's that sound, Ginger?
Wonderful.
We're here to talk about the shamanic studies programs that I have. Hi, Christina. And hi, Natalie. So I have, since 2011, taught a program called Artist Shaman Healer Sage. And here in Colorado, it has, hi, Chris, it has been a 6-month program in foundational shamanism, a very multicultural shamanic program. Now, why am I the person to teach that? And why am I bringing that into a year-long program in Grays Lake? Well, for one, I love Inner Haven and Christina and Ginger, and I made a great connection this last year with the whole community, or many of the community. And so I'm very excited and in full heart of saying I'm bringing this program that I've done, a 6-month program, into a year-long program where I can come for your community for a 3-day or more session quarterly to help teach you some foundational processes, shamanic traditions, practices, experiences to help you transform your life. Now, let me tell you about how I got here. And maybe that'll help you know whether this is a full-on yes for you or not. And I want you to pay attention to your yes. Because when your soul desires something, there's synchronicity. When you're full on of saying, I need, want, and am ready to commit to myself and my spiritual growth, the teachers and the teachings will appear. And excuse my dog back here, she's making a lot of noise, so I might have to show her to you in a little bit. So if you're here or you watch this at some point and you're not live, know that there may be a very special message within this for you. And I would imagine there absolutely is. Because that's what happened to me many times in my life as I've been chasing my spiritual life. And I say chasing it, following it, picking up the breadcrumbs, because I know when I was suffering has always led me to what is next in my life. I hate to say that it's not just, oh, wonderful dreams, I want something new. It actually has often at times been that I do not wish to suffer, that I want a better life, that I want to have my next steps of empowerment, of how to dream a good reality. And that's what this program is about, is transformation, empowerment, and illumination. How to live in this world of chaos and find your peace within, to know how to follow your dreams, to be empowered and enjoy. Now, in 2006, I'd broken up from a relationship at the end of the year and I was in suffering. Now, I'd already been on a metaphysical path for 20 years. And what happened was I began to pray. And as I began to pray, I got this guidance to find Sandra Ingerman. She is an amazing shamanic teacher and has written many, many books and taught thousands of students. And so my spirit guides, my helpers, were saying Sandra Ingerman, Sandra Ingerman, Sandra Ingerman. Not one of her teachers, not somebody else who does stuff like her. And so I kept finding my way to her. And several months later, I found that she was going to be at a 4-day healing retreat in northern New Mexico with Jose and Lena Stevens on this place called Eagle Bear Ranch. And I thought, that sounds cool. That sounds familiar. And it wasn't that expensive. And so I went because I knew that I was picking up a breadcrumb to what my next step in my life was. I didn't have any idea. I had no intention of becoming a teacher. It was all about healing. It was all about finding my path of healing my heart and really being myself. So it says my settings up. Let me go see if I can change my settings as I'm launching through this, y'all. Hang on a second. Interactivity. I don't know what to tell you, Christina. I don't know how to change my settings. So the viewer says auto captions. Says I've got allow viewers to message me, so I'm going to go back into launching in. And if there needs to be a messenger to me, I'm going to hope that Ginger, you can help me with this.
I'm watching love. It's okay.
Okay. So anyway, I found my way to New Mexico. And the funny thing is I fell in love with Sandra, but I also fell in love with all the other people there that were facilitating that retreat. It wasn't only Jose and Lena Stevens of the Power Path School of Shamanism. It was 2 Shipibo shamans from the jungles of Peru. And I was quite intrigued that they were there and what they had to show. There was nothing about learning. It was all about experiencing. I spent 24 hours on the land alone. And then we came back into camp and we had the opportunity to be with each person. I had the opportunity to get a healing from everyone. Well, I was quite enamored by what happened. And I had a lot of experience in spiritual practices prior to this, but nothing quite like this. So they had a 10-day training about 2 weeks later, and I signed up and I went. And again, magic, remembering, profound experiences, simple but profound practices on the land and with the people. And I heard about a 2-year advanced shamanic program. I said, well, what is that? And I signed up for it. I had the opportunity to do that 2-year program, which was multicultural and international. And prior to that, I began doing different shamanic ceremonies with the Power Path School of Shamanism. When I said my yes, it was not only to meet Sandra, but it was to follow my path. And in that path, everything began to give me the next step, the unfoldment. And so I had the good fortune of saying yes, even though I thought, wow, this is an expensive program. You know, I pay for all my international travel, but I'm going to go to Peru. I'm going to go to Mexico. I'm going to be with the Shipibo shamans. I'm going to be with the Huichol shamans. I'm going to be in the Chiricahuas and at the Four Corners. We're going to meet quarterly for 2 years. So this path is a path of direct knowing and initiation. And I had the good fortune not only of graduating from that program, but continuing into advanced studies and going to Peru 5 times to do plant medicine work, to be initiated in different ways in their shamanic traditions. I've been down to Mexico and worked with the Huichols. We worked with the traditions from the Quero people. And we also worked with the medicine wheel based on mostly Native American teachings. So all of those teachings are imbued in this 1-year program in some way, shape, or form. Not the same way exactly, but in the way that serves you most here to help you understand practices that take you within and take you into nature, to be able to hear, see, sense, know your guidance system, your spiritual guidance system that's constantly present. To also understand the shamanic mapping system that is a spiritual mapping system that is universal, that there are symbol systems within our world, that we are actually dreaming a dream. And you'll find that I heard the same thing when I got into metaphysics in my late 20s, was that we are creating our reality. And that seems kind of like big to think that I have a role in that. Well, it's true. You'll find that whether it's Buddhism, Hinduism, Native American teaching, Siberian shamanism, Mexican Huichol shamanism, Peruvian, South American shamanism, there are universal truths that are within every one of them. If you meet a shaman in Siberia, and you meet a shaman in Peru, and you meet a shaman here in the United States who's truly born into a shamanic culture, is that you will learn that you really are consciously participating in your dream. However, do you really know how to do that? We are refining that, and that's what this class is about. This course is about coming into tribe. This course is about timeless practices that we will work with together. We will make our own shamanic tools and learn how to work with everything from rattles and what their purpose are to something called clicking sticks, which come from Aboriginal teachings of how to break patterns that hold you into loops, into imprints, into suffering. And that you're going to learn how to work with that energy, how to work with the medicine wheel, with cycles. Being on this planet is all about, it's a finite existence. It's quite a creative existence. We are quite creative beings, even when we don't think that we are. And this is all about empowering you to come into ceremony, ritual, and to work with these for a direct experience of knowing. Not to just believe Katherine Skaggs or a book that you read or some other teacher, but to truly embody your own transformation and participate on a conscious level, that you are more illuminated, more empowered, and capable of moving through the challenges of this modern world with more grace, ease, and joy. That you're able to go within to get the direct guidance from your power animals, from your spirit guides, from your totem animals, to even know who they are, to identify them, to even know that the plants and the trees and the waters and the mountains are speaking to you, and to be able to more and more decipher that through shamanic journey work and other different practices that I've brought into these courses that help you get to your heart. You'll get a lot of teachings from different traditions, but most of all, you'll get practices to help you embody this and not just believe it. We want you to be a knower. We want you to create. You're not here to learn to be a shaman. I'm not here to teach you that. I'm here to teach you to be a shamanic practitioner. I believe unless you were raised in a shamanic culture and identified to be one as a role in the tribe, to help others in your community, that is not really what us other folks should be calling ourselves. And that's just one of my takes on it. If you do, that's up with you and your creator. This is about humility. This is about becoming a hollow bone or a clear vessel for spirit to run through you. So let me tell you some of the things you'll get in this program. And yes, Christina just posted the link to the program that gives an outline of what happens in the 4 gatherings that we'll have quarterly over a year's time. Is that you're going to learn about who is the inner artist, the inner shaman, the inner healer, and the inner sage, the wise one. That's the name of the book I wrote, Artist Shaman Healer Sage. Timeless practices, ritual, and ceremony to transform your life and awaken your soul. And that's what this course is about, is gathering us in tribe, in sacred ceremony, creating a safe container of the heart that allows you to be vulnerable and to drop into your true essence. That you will get teachings on the medicine wheel, on curiosity and creativity, how to stir the quantum field, how to create from the nothingness, how to drop into the quantum field, the cosmic void of potentiation and possibility, to work with the spirit of the East in the medicine wheel, with new beginnings, your childlike nature, and then to move into the South and to work with the energy of the sun, the energy of the summertime, the energy of bringing those dreams above earth, of working with containers, how to have a clear vessel, not only your body and your mind, your heart, but how to create a container for anything you want to create in your life, to have it safe, to have it protected, to have it illuminated, that there's no weeds in your garden, so to speak, that you're growing what you desire and not haphazardly planting seeds and then going, oh, what else is really going to come up? To take you through initiations that help you transmute and transform limitation. Any place where you have felt stuck, or that, oh, I don't know if I can do that. Well, would you like to be free? Free to be yourself? Free to transcend the limitations of the past? We'll talk about imprints, meaning anytime there's been fear, fright, or trauma, there's been an energy pattern that's gotten into your energy aura, your field, your psyche, that has created a distortion that has limited you from creating the life you want. It may have gotten stuck in your thoughts, definitely in your emotional body and your physical body, most likely, if you're not getting the life you want. And that these practices will help break those patterns and teach you about truly loving yourself and giving yourself the next stage of leveling up to your life that is possible and even beyond what you've been able to dream. Anything beyond what you can imagine, that this is going up to the next level of your amazingness and also your heart, to heal at deep levels that free you to truly be yourself. And in the medicine wheel, I'm also talking about part of that transcendence was we'll work with the West and the teachings in the West about harvest, celebration, and death that come with the end of the day and the cycle of autumn time. That the earth and the cycles on this planet, there's many ways to teach us to embody that transformation. And that we will be able to then go into the north, the time of the night, the time of the winter, and understand the power of that cycle and how to work with that. Some of the tools that you'll create during this class, during this time together, is in the East, we'll work with the tools of magic and the medicine wand. We'll create a medicine wand, we'll create a medicine staff that is about you gathering your medicine. That you have medicine, I have medicine, and I'm not talking about pills that we think is medicine in our world. That is false medicine. That is pharmaceutical medicine. We're talking about spiritual medicine. The medicine of the plants, the medicine of the animals, the medicine of the earth, and the medicine of your soul. Is that we're here to illuminate that part of you. Oh, good. Thank you, Christina. Text Christina or direct message her at Inner Haven if you have your own questions, want to ask us. Apparently, whatever, we're having some tech issues today where we're not able to get everything interactive like we hope. So I know that there's a reason and a purpose. And if you do direct message her or later direct message me, I am so happy to answer you. But let's see what we can get that into this live here. And we may do it again if we can figure out our tech. So we're here to help you with getting the medicine tools to create them and learn to use them through your experiences. So in the East, we'll make some medicine wands, and we will go deep in the teachings of the East and embracing and activating your inner artist, your creativity, to create your life as you desire and to understand more about how that works. But most of all, not just intellectually, but spiritually and from direct knowing. You'll be working with shamanic journey work, meditation, and other things to still yourself to go within and to be the knower in your life. The other thing that we'll work with in the South, the medicine instrument of the South is typically the drum. However, that's a separate class that I typically teach. And I know that you have someone who teaches drum making where you are at Inner Haven. I saw that Chris is helping someone do drum making and has been hosting that for years. So the drum is the medicine tool of the South, but in this class, one of the things that we'll do in the South is that we will be working with the medicine of the heart. All of a sudden I went blank at the tool that we're going to be making. How weird is that? So how will the course support those who are already practitioners? I'll come back to that in just a second, but that's a great question. In the West, we'll be making tools. I'll bring all those in. I think those are in that, if you go to the program online, it's got all the tools that you'll be making over the course of our time together. You'll learn how to work with clicking sticks, rattles, feathers, and how to bring those into your practices. So that segues right into this question that Gingerbreast brought up. How does this support those who are already shamanic practitioners or healing practitioners? You've got a lot of training perhaps. And I know Chris, I want to honor Chris Moses. She's done a lot of training and she's joining this program. And I know, Chris, you've done some work with the teachers that I've trained with, mainly Jose and Lena Stevens of the Power Path, as well as some other teachers. But part of this program is going to give you a deepening. I know that I can always learn something with teachers I'm attracted to. And if you are attracted to being here, first of all, trust that. And that we're going to give you some direct experiences that maybe you did not get with some of those other teachers. I brought in some practices that I didn't get necessarily with Jose and Lena, even though they are a foundation for what I am bringing here, in addition to my earlier metaphysical studies, which included Buddhism and Hinduism, which are shamanic studies, some of the earliest shamanic studies on this planet. And that my goal is always to witness you and to support you in going through initiations, to help you advance in clearing limitation, going deeper into your soul authenticness and authority, your inner authority, that you move to your next level. I trust that whatever, those of you who are attracted to be here are going to be initiated at a new level of yourself as a practitioner, that there are going to be practices that maybe you've never heard of, and that you are going to go to your next level of practice. I trust synchronicity 1,000%. That if you're drawn to me, that you're attracted to what is being offered here, I will call and talk to you on a personal time if you're making a decision, if you want to come here, if you have more questions up and above this. But I feel that the Kero teachings, the teachings from the Huichols in Mexico, the teachings of the shamans in Peru. I need to take my dog's collar off. She's making a lot of noise. I apologize with that. Hang on a second. Sophie, chill out. She gets all excited with my energy too. Come here. All right. That ought to be better. Should make less noise. Apologize. Is that, every one of us has a library energetically, not just intellectually, but in our heart spaces and in our auric fields. And that there's an appointed meeting here. That I could give you an intellectual answer about what are you going to get out of this course as a practitioner, and I can name a lot of things, and I've named a few already. And those who gather have an appointment to meet on a soul level to go to your next level of interaction and to share our energetic libraries with one another, that the people who gather bring much of the blessing to the tribe, that this is bigger than Katherine Skaggs' teacher, that every one of you has wisdom, beauty, and love within you that is being invited up to your next level of activation, and your ability to go within to the next level of illumination, that we're all of this together, that yes, I started this, yay, Ginger, is that, I'm revisiting some of my Buddhist teachings right now, in addition to my Peruvian roots and shamanism that I've had and the other roots that I will be sharing with you. And I'm remembering the importance that there's always another layer and another level to open our hearts. And it's not just about me or just about you, but as you are activated to your next level of empowerment and illumination, it's yours to give back to the world in whatever way that is right for you to give. Some of you are teachers. Some of you will just love more greatly and show up more authentically as you. And that's the whole point, is that every one of us makes a difference. Every one of us has so much to give, but we first need to receive and to open our hearts and to find out that we are the blessing. How do we live as the blessing is part of the journey here. And that you will be more greatly powerful in how you affect the quantum field and help humanity just by being so amazingly you. To be empowered in these crazy, crazy times we're in, to step out of duality from what we call ordinary reality. There's a couple of realities that are going on. So I already talked to you about one of the main teachings in shamanism that I was taught, and I believe wholeheartedly, is that we're dreaming our reality, that I am a dreamer. I am a creative being. I am a spark of creation, as are you. However, are you consciously, intentionally creating? Do you have tribe that you love to be with? I know Inner Haven does. I know you have an incredible tribe there. However, are you really creating the life you want? Have you stepped out of suffering? Suffering is part of the duality on this planet. And the ordinary reality is that we're stuck in this duality. And we aren't living with the idea that there's magic here. We miss it a lot of the times. We get stuck in our devices. We get stuck in our phones. We get stuck in the linear reality. And it is what it is. And sure, I'm always on this thing of learning, expanding, and growing and healing myself. I'm not any different. I've just had a lot of different experiences that maybe I can share with you that are valuable for you too. And yet this is about tapping into extraordinary reality, or what I call non-ordinary reality. That non-ordinary reality is this place of having a foot in the spirit world and the physical reality. I bet Ginger and Christina help you all touch into that in your metaphysical circles that you have weekly there, and the other practices that you have going on there. That's one great part of that portal of Inner Haven, is that it's a spiritual, magical place to be, and that's why you go, for those of you that are very connected to that community. And for those of you that may not have that community, you got to go check it out if you're in that area. But this is a place that we can cultivate that by coming together with a clear intention of bringing in the magic and learning that within every one of us, we are born to be in the magic, that we are creators in our lives, and that we can become more conscious and active as a creator through ceremony, ritual, and tried and true practice that clear the heavy energy of ordinary reality, to clear fear, to clear fright, to clear trauma, to clear ancestrally, to clear and be able to walk through the world and not be of it. I grew up Christian and I loved Jesus. I didn't like the church as much, but I loved Jesus. And his teachings, I think he was an amazing shaman and mystic. And he was here to provide a way, just as Buddha, and Krishna and many of the other beings throughout cultures around the world who became enlightened, who understand that we are here to walk through this dream, but not be of the duality of this dream. What would it be like to live free of judgment? What would it be like to live free of fear, fright, and trauma that's being broadcast over the news to put us into a dream state that is a nightmare? What would it be like to wake up every day and be so happy to be alive and to feel like you're in the magic of this reality and that you're in between the worlds of spirit and the physical reality and that you're living as a direct creative being who understands the laws of the universe and the universal teachings that shamans and mystics have taught for eons on this planet? What would that be like if you got a glimpse into it and you started to have an understanding of that? And you started to embody it in how you approach life. That anything is possible when you start clearing out the fear. That anything is possible when you clear the fright. Now, one of the things that I teach that was passed on to me from the Shipibo shamans on the rivers of the Amazon in Peru is that we are born as a song. And that as a song, we vibrate in harmony until ordinary reality, fear and fright is put upon us. You ever seen a child that's precocious and free and amazing and curious, and life is awesome until an adult says, "Oh, honey, that was just a dream," meaning, "Oh, that's not real." Or they tell you that you're a great artist, but you know what? What are you really going to do for a living? In other words, your dreams start to get squashed because of the fear and fright of your parents or your teachers or the culture at large that is telling us, "Oh, yeah, and that spiritual stuff, great. However, you need to be afraid because the world's falling apart." Well, what if we are divinely appointed to know that the old reality is falling apart because a new reality is coming in, and that you don't need to be afraid as you are consciously creating and trusting that spirit shows you everything you need in every breath, in every moment, to give you a yes to know your map on this planet is actually within your very being. That you have a spiritual GPS device. It's your SGS. It's your spiritual guidance system. And that this is about helping you get in touch with that spiritual guidance system, understanding and deepening your work with energy that creates a very practical manifestation in your physical reality. To know that you can create, that you can heal, that you can let go of what limits you, and that you can dream better, anew, more every day into greater possibility, and that you can actually make it real and tangible. I'll tell you, I've gone through a lot of initiations in this life. I've gone through a lot of ups and downs. But fortunately, I'm wired in such a way that I've returned back home to my spiritual guidance system every time I fall asleep on occasion. It still happens. I hate to admit it, but I'm human. I'm in a human vessel that I keep cleaning out limitation. And the cool thing is that I'm more empowered, I'm more alive, and I'm more joyful as I've continued to refine and let go of the places that have been my Achilles heel, that have been the places that I probably brought in from other lifetimes to heal, let alone help with healing imprints that are cultural, that are familial in this DNA. So, any other questions, Ginger? I've kind of been on a full-on rant here with just a download, hoping that y'all can catch this energy of how exciting it is to know that you can move beyond fear, you can move beyond fright, that I'm here to support and love you and help you, that this is a path of love and heart. It's also a path of ancient wisdom, that I want to give you experiences that you know this in your very being, that you feel safe to let go and be vulnerable, that you can feel joy. They can feel that others in your tribe care as they do their own work, that you're part of something bigger than yourself. And as a result, you take it to your loved ones, you take it to your family, you take it to your body, you take it to your life. That this is, you can be Christian, Jew, Hindu, you can be anything and everything. You can be as weird as you want to be, and you fit into this if you would like to make it part of your practice, to deepening and finding your joy and knowing that you are loved. You know, one of the things that I can say that I'll bring as a teacher, hopefully, and I've had this reflected back to me by many, is that I'm very dedicated to seeing you. And as a soul portrait artist, as an intuitive artist, yeah, we're going to be weird together. I love it, Ginger. Is that for a long time, I didn't know how my spirituality and my art combined. And I did a prayer many years ago. And one of the things that came out ultimately is that I'm a channel, I'm a spiritual artist, and I am a soul portrait artist. Meaning I have the capacity to see your essence and your soul beyond your human foibles. And in the process of my Cancer rising, my Piscesness, and with some Scorpio scattered in there, very watery. And I'm Mama, I'm the divine Mama. And I fortunately, though I didn't have any physical children in this life, but I have a lot of spiritual children. And I'll just love you up, just to be you. It might be comfortable and what you've needed. It might be uncomfortable to let somebody love you. Maybe that's the perfect thing you need. So you're going to get intellectual teachings, you're going to get experiential teachings, and you're going to get a lot of heart in this gathering. Because I know Inner Haven is a place of heart. And everyone I've met there is pure love. And so I was at home the minute I stepped in there. And so I invite you into a home of the heart and the soul, that you can be held and naturally grow at your pace, that you can be given practices that empower you to find your inner voice, that find your inner heart, that reveal the magnificent soul that is guiding this body and this personality, to unite your inner self with this conscious being here, to become conscious and illuminated, to truly be the joy and the blessing that you are. So if any of you have more questions, please message me here on Facebook or get a message to Christina and to Ginger at Inner Haven, the most amazing place in Illinois that I know. And come and join us to heal. And if you have any limitations, you get hold of me, because I will guarantee you this is not all about money. Yes, there's a fee to join the class, but if you need a scholarship or you need a way to pay it out, or you need to know that you're worth it, let me work with you to get you there. This is about gathering. It's about an exchange of energy, which we all need to do on this planet to get anything. But it's about heart, and it's about your soul's transformation, because we're here in this to change this world. We are the ones. Lisa, I can't wait either. I love you, my dear. We are the ones. We are the answers. And I tell you what, I had a mystical experience back in my early 30s when I was in metaphysical school. I was a teacher and a director of schools, and I loved what I was learning. I loved what I was teaching at the time. And I was struggling with the hierarchy in the school and how stuff kind of rolled down on the heads of us who were the teachers and the directors. And I went to do a shamanic journey with one of my students. She is absolutely not anything like what I've met since I started my true shamanic practices with indigenous peoples from around the world, but she was pretty mystical. And I had this crazy experience, nothing like what I've done since I started my shamanic studies, but it was a very mystical experience. I had a white light experience. And when I was in this light, I was not in this physical reality as much as my body might have been laying on a bed. I was in another dimension for hours and hours earth time, but I had no sense of time. And I was in pure light, pure God consciousness. And I didn't have any troubles at the time. I mean, I was struggling my human life, but in this state of this inner dimension, I was in a pure state of bliss, in a pure state of knowing. I knew that if I had any question, the only answer was love. And I carry that into these courses, is that truly the only answer is love, no matter the question. We make up all these things of what we think we need to figure out. And the answer is right here in our heart spaces and our soul spaces, is that this reality of duality is not where it's all at, folks. It's part of the journey, it's part of the adventure. But what if you lived your life in love as an adventure? Wouldn't that be pretty freaking awesome? Maybe you're doing some of that already. Would you like to deepen it? Would you like to share that? Well, that's my invitation to you, is that let's share that. Let's be the change. Let's all of us embody that together in greater love and joy. Let us sing our songs into this world. Because as I sing my song, as you sing your song authentically, courageously yourself, that activates the songs of those who are asleep. That activates the songs of those who are in suffering. And the suffering begins to cease, and the compassion and the joy and the love expand. That's my invitation to you, is be courageous, to give to yourself of the heart, and to join a powerful tribe that is dedicated to love and transformation, to help this world remember that our souls are alive no matter how it's been scary, and that we can heal those traumas together, that there are ways that are tried and true that are being passed on now. And it doesn't matter our color, it doesn't matter our past, it doesn't matter our sexuality or our gender, it doesn't matter how we grew up. It matters that we say yes now, today, this moment, to re-aliven our calling to be in love, to live with joy, and to know that together it makes it a lot easier. That's right, Chris, we are the change. Let's be it together. So all of you are being called, pay attention. If your heart says, I want, pay attention and say yes. That's what I have to say. Ginger, you got anything else, or anybody else? We're going to have fun too.
You're awesome. Just saying.
Takes one to know one. So there's a mind. I will be teaching from many different cultures, many practices, and so you'll have shades of Native American teachings that I've been taught and practiced. You'll have rituals and ceremonies that go along with medicine wheel. You will have practices from Peru, from various times I've been with the Shipibo shamans down there, and their teachings. We'll do some Bobansana tea ceremony, which Christina is holding on Friday, just like I will be here. We'll be hooking up in the energy waves. You'll learn about working with traditions from the Aboriginals and the shamanic body map, which tells us a whole lot about the wisdom of our bodies and the bones in our bodies, and how to break patterns intentionally with something called clicking sticks. You'll learn about working with rattles to not only break patterns, but to call in energy and to do soul retrieval. I'll be covering soul loss and soul retrieval. We'll be doing ancestral healing. We will be doing plant bath medicine ceremonies, how to create a plant bath, what is the benefits of it, and how to use that for yourself. This is a great thing you can use if you're a practitioner to work with clients, to reset their energy field. You will get a smoke bath with special ingredients from Peru that will not only be Palo Santo, but I have a very, very special ingredient that helps you clear your psyche and any breaks in your psychic self. I will be bringing in Buddhist teachings. You need to go.
Fall event. It's going to be a immersion.
Ginger, was that an immersion? Yes, you're being immersed into retreat type settings that you're gonna go through experiences, and then you're gonna know how to hold those experiences again and again and again for yourself and for others if you choose. Some very good cleaning and illumination.
Let's talk about the fall, where we're going into a immersion that we'll be staying together the fall event.
So our third gathering will be more of a retreat setting where we will be in a setting like a big home on a property where we're going to be together for 4 days, I think it is. Is that right, Ginger?
Yes.
We'll
Yes.
be together for, so on the other three courses, we'll meet up Friday night, a full day Saturday, and a full day Sunday at Inner Haven. That third gathering, we will be more in retreat mode where we do not encourage you to go home. We'll stay together. We'll have our meals together, and we will be immersed in that retreat setting that will bring even more magic and a more deepening because I'm going to have you all day and all night. So we'll see how fun and amazing that will be. Um, it's going to be magical. You know, one of my sayings and teachings is all about curiosity. Most of the time, most people are imprinted with fear, so they wonder, they are curious about how bad it can get. They worry, and that doesn't help anything. That over that, yes, we're having a sleepover in the third quarter, but I love it. We're gonna have this is gonna be fun. And however, what if you were curious about how good it got? What if you're curious about this led you to your most amazing life? What if you're drawn to this and you went beyond limitation? You go, oh my God, how amazing might my next steps be? What if? What is your what if of how amazing your life could be? What if you caught this energy and life became more transformative, harmonious, and joyful than anything your mind could have ever thought up? What if that's this adventure? This is an adventure. Life is an adventure. We're asking you to go on an amazing adventure that is far beyond anything you can imagine. One thing I've learned about the power of yes when I'm called, when I pray and I ask for help, and I do that a lot, is that I get a direct synchronicity come in front of me. And every time I've said yes, my life has expanded 1,000-fold into my next step of why I am here. From going to art school in my 20s, of saying yes when my boyfriend said, I said to him, I'd love to go to art school just for a year was all I could imagine. That was hard to imagine. He said, why not? I said, yeah, why not? And the why not was like all the reasons why not. The reason it was like, why not go, Katherine? And so look at all this art because I said yes, even though I was already an artist. I went for 3 years, graduated in painting. The next time was like, I want to go to Europe with these wise women, artists and scholars to see Rome through the eyes of the goddess pre-Christianity. I said, well, at first I'm like, I don't think I can afford it. I don't know where the money would come. I went to coffee with one of the gals and I said, I'll go even if I put on my credit card. And you know what happened? I went to Rome. I got the messages I needed, which were, we've heard his story. It's time to tell her story. Just do it. I came home and I called the author of the mythical goddess Tarot deck, who's been bugging me for 15 years. And in 18 months, that deck was published, and I painted 78 paintings in that and created the deck in that short a time. Why not? And I can tell you story after story after story that says, Katherine, your next step is, you prayed about this. Don't ignore it. Say yes. So I kind of, I grew up Baptist. I got a preacher in my bones. So, I hope it's a good one. That it's a joyful one, that it's a fun one, that it's a storyteller one, and that it's like, what is your story you want to tell when you look back, when you're an old person, older than you are now, when you look back a year or 5 years from now, you say, I did it. I went my next step on the marathon, and it was awesome adventure. What if that's your next story to tell? All right.
Okay, lovey. We're coming to
I
our
know.
group time.
I know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ginger, I know people will be contacting you. You're going to do an event tonight. Have a great time. And for all of you, if you need to talk to me, private message me here. I'm happy to answer questions, do a live call with you, sign you up for class. There's payment programs. If you need some support, let me know. We'll figure it out. I love you all. Flip flop, Lisa. All right. I love you all. And I will share this video with Inner Haven so that you can post it. And Christina just said that too.
Okay, thank you so much. It's been going live on ours right now.
Oh, awesome.
And then send a video, please, or share it on yours, and we'll share it. So,
okay.
Loving you so much.
I love you too, Ginger. I love you, everybody. Love you, Christina. Y'all have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.